Welcome to my series where I go into all the details of hair loss, hair thinning, what to do about it today, what to do about it as far as wigs or toppers, and share with you my knowledge that I put together over this last year. I wanted to save you the time and effort, consolidated in all these series, the links below of which it will take you to all the various subjects. In short, I'm your librarian. I'm the go-to to get all the answers in one location, free of charge to all of you. And today, we're going to get into human hair versus synthetic hair. Your very first choice, what are you going to do? I'll share with you my journey. And also, if you stay tuned to the very end, I incorporate less than 30 seconds, a little training on polish projects power to polish you in your behavior, in your interaction, to fine-tune your communication skills so that not only in your personal life, but your career, you will be a powerful influencer. So let's begin. All right, now the story is you may get a topper like I showed in my previous video. But if you're still suffering from an awful lot of hair loss, you may have to go into wigs, this thing called wigs. However, so much different than my generation, wigs of the 1980s and even 1990s. They're so beautifully made today. But also, you have a choice. Do you purchase a human hair topper like I originally did, or do you buy a synthetic? Now, here's the story, the real lowdown. When you buy a wig, the cost is all going to be not on the fibers. Yes, not necessarily on the fibers. It's going to be on the cap construction. And by cap, that's the cap that's inside the wig itself that you put on your hair. And I will actually show you what the cap construction looks like and show you the comparison. But it's the labor intensity in what they call a hand-tied cap versus a machine stitched. But let's get back to this fiber. If you're going to choose a human hair fiber, generally human hair fibers, those wigs and those toppers are quite expensive. The topper that I purchased was around $700. Wigs with human hair can run anywhere from $1,000 on up, except in the very last video, I'm going to show you a wig manufacturer that combines both quality of cap construction as well as real human hair for the same price that you would purchase for a synthetic wig, around $500 or $600. Yes, I'll share that particular manufacturer because I actually will be showing you a wig review. I just cannot believe that they are combining top quality in construction as well as top human hair, but at a price that is half, if not a quarter, of what most of your wig manufacturers sell their products for. So human hair, the pros. When you're brand new in this venture, usually you want to get the topper, or if you get a wig, you want it to be almost identical to your own color. That was me from the very beginning. It had to match my own natural hair because I had fear. I didn't want to be out there and people say, "What's wrong with you? You look so different today." No, I didn't want to do that. So generally you gravitate towards the color is going to be relatively similar to your own natural hair. And as far as the human hair, the pros are you treat it and take care of it just like you do your own hair. However, that does mean a lot of care. Yes, you can color it, you can change the color, but you will have to wash it and condition it And be very, very careful with the fibers, just like you are with your own human hair. Just be mindful, be sure you use the shampoos for human hair that are sold by these wig companies, because they really understand the kind of ingredients that are necessary to preserve the fibers to last as long as possible. And also your human hair wigs, they tend to last a lot longer than, say, daily wear of a synthetic fiber. For instance, real human hair wigs can last a couple of years compared to, say, there was a particular wig that you loved that was synthetic and you wear it absolutely every day. It's more like months. It's months is the life expectancy of that particular synthetic wig compared to a human hair. But I want you to understand, it's not the human hair fibers that's the cost. It's the labor intensity in making the cap. That is where it all stems as far as the cost. And again, you can get a human hair wig for relatively inexpensive. And I will share that in another video. When it comes to synthetic hairs, the synthetics are like two types. There's what they call the heat friendly, meaning that you can use a curling iron to curl your hair, to style it, versus a non-heat friendly. Now, if it's a non-heat friendly, and it could be a very curly wig, but you cannot use a curling iron, it would destroy the fibers. You have to just take it, enjoy it the way it is, but you cannot use a curling iron on a non-heat friendly synthetic fiber. Also remember, the fibers are synthetic. They're man-made. Also, you need to go outside to really test the coloring, because a lot of times indoors, the synthetic fibers look a lot different than, say, rays from the sun when you're outside. So always be sure you go outside to be sure that you like the color. And then just a little side note, oftentimes in the synthetic fibers, the blonde color tends to be extra shiny. It's easy to remedy this. Strictly spraying a little bit of dry shampoo and fluffing it through the fibers will tone down that shininess if that tends to bother you. So you have this choice between the two, choosing human hair versus synthetic. How I have evolved is my toppers were real hair. And like I shared with you, I actually went into my salon and was able to change the color, because you can do that with the human hair. You can't change the color of the synthetic fibers. But then I went and I started purchasing toppers that were synthetic to evolve to toppers that were heat friendly and non-heat friendly. And I found that I really loved the synthetic hairs. I found that they lasted, to me, because I cared for them so carefully, so much longer. But, and I will share in my next video, the construction of the cap, a thing they call lace front and a monofilament top, that these synthetic wigs, they don't look like wigs anymore compared to the way wigs were made back in the 1970s and 80s. So I find that I've gravitated towards really enjoying the synthetic. However, this one company that makes only human hair wigs, you can get a wig, a beautiful, beautiful wig, beautifully made, between $500 or $600. In my review, I'll share them with you. I'm kind of back into the human hair again. But with that said, this ends sharing with you human hair, synthetic wigs, the pros and cons of each, but also want to share a little bit of this Polish Projects power. Here's a little test. When you start walking straight, yes, it's the old-fashioned practice with the book on your head, walking back and forth, your head, eye, your chin up. Remember, you're looking down, your gaze. But when you walk to that room, stop for a moment in the entrance, no matter how hurried everyone seems to be. Let's say you're going to a cocktail party. At the entrance, just stop. Just concentrate to take a breath. A deep breath and down. Just by your elegance of standing there, looking around, you get an assessment of where everything is, knowing where you're going to proceed. But just stop for a moment and be silent. Just you're standing there and stopping and not being hurried is going to cause people to look up and gaze at you. That's a powerful motion of how to enter a room. Have a great day.